are 30 seconds late.
Sorry, this place is sketchy as hell, and I was thorough about not being followed.
Anyway, let's get on with it. What do you want to know?
What is Gaia? What does it have to do with the Unlimited engine? How do I get there? Is it...
Hold up. I get that you're an eager beaver, but take time to breathe. I'll start by telling you what Gaia isn't. It ain't no game. There are real consequences. If we continue, you could be hunted for what you know. Are you sure you want to take that risk? The soul of an adventurer, I see. Your best bet is to get a hacked version of the Unlimited engine and a neurodive headset. Divers consider Gaia a game world, but the lore and history of the realm has us second guessing. Gaia is said to have been created by the greater elemental spirits, crafted in the sense that each spirit governs a domain, and the species inhabiting the planet are their children.
Do these gods still exist?
Yes, some of them anyway. It is written that the children of Gaia started to lust for the power of the greater spirits and tried to enslave them. What's scary is they actually succeeded. Wars were fought for power, and the greater spirits separated themselves from their creations. Gaian scholars say that some of the spirits dimensionally shifted, becoming untouchable, while others are hidden, pulling strings from the shadows. Whatever the case, the geography of Gaia has been shaped by this.
Give me the rundown. What are the powers that be?
Class is in session, kid. Pay attention. The floating continent of ACR was created by Sylph the Wind Spirit. In a great battle with the villainous Dust King, the land was torn asunder.
Let me guess. It didn't end well?
Bingo. Sylph bit the dust, but left behind some powerful relics.
Great. Mystical leftovers. Just what every floating continent needs.
You'd be surprised. Those relics sparked a whole civil war in Bastia, the capital.
Classic. Rich versus poor?
You catch on quick. The underdogs won, formed a new kingdom called D-Line.
So what now? They're all living happily ever after?
Hardly. Both sides are scrambling to claim those floating islands. Prime real estate, you know. Now let's talk about Taunton, the Earth Kingdom.
Let me guess. Lots of dirt.
And then some. Created by Gnome, the great Earth Spirit.
Another spirit? How many are there?
Patience, kid. We'll get there. Taunton's got more minerals than you can shake a pickaxe at.
So everyone's rich.
If only. Place is split into a bunch of states, always fighting over borders.
Typical. Let me guess. Someone got greedy.
Bingo. The Sons of the Earth captured Nome and went to town with their fancy engineering.
Sounds like a bad idea waiting to happen.
You don't know the half of it. Ever hear of the Orichalcum Shaft?
Sounds like a band name.
I'd buy that album. It's actually home to the biggest magical ore vein in Gaia.
Let me guess, they dug too deep?
Kid, you're starting to scare me. They breached the Nether Realm, released these nasties called the Fallen.
I bet that went well.
Oh, it gets better. They met the Chanterelle.
The what now?
Sentient mushrooms. I'm not making this up.
Okay, now you're definitely pulling my leg.
Wish I was, kid. Now they're all fighting over the shaft. It turns out the Fallen are more civilized than they initially portrayed themselves. We can all hope this will end with negotiation.
This is wild. What's next? A realm of illusions?
Welcome to Shazam, where reality takes a vacation.
Another spirit?
Wisp, the light spirit. Poor guy got tricked by the Lore King.
Lore King? Sounds like a video game character.
Huh? Close. Francis Silt teamed up with some shady characters to erect a magical barrier and trap Wisp in his own castle of mirrors. What's worse is they summoned a horde of mana fiends to leech his power, locked them in and threw away the key. The castle is guarded and off limits. We suspect Wisp is still running for his life.
So what now? Shazam's all doom and gloom?
Huh? Far from it. It's the Vegas of Gaia. King Francis turned it into an entertainment hotspot.
Sounds like a wild weekend.
You have no idea. Now, ready for a trip to the desert?
Wait. Sounds like I should be taking notes.
I don't plan on repeating myself, so you might want to.
Okay, ready.
Say hello to Sala, courtesy of Salamander, the fire spirit.
Whoa, talk about a glass menagerie.
Nice reference, kid. Salamander was more of an artist than a fighter. He is actually responsible for Gaia's culinary culture.
Let me guess, that didn't go well for him?
Bittersweet. Things could be worse. King Courts came along, united the warring clans, and, well...
And they turned Salamander into a fancy lighter?
Something like that. The spirit is like a furnace for the city. Heat on demand. Now Salah's giving Shazam a run for its money in the tourist game. At the moment, we think Salamander is delighted about how Quartz is modernizing Salah.
This is crazy. Any spirits actually doing okay?
Funny you should ask. The tree city of Yggdrasil, home to Dryad, the wood spirit. She actually surrendered peacefully.
Really? No epic battles or trickery?
No. Now she chills in the tree city, helping out the whole Yanzil kingdom. She spread her roots throughout and the citizens can freely use her power to a certain degree.
Sounds suspiciously nice.
Don't worry. They've got their own issues. Ever try to get a permit from a council of talking trees? The place is a bureaucratic mess. A hotbed for seeds of corruption. Yanzil houses the world grocery and the realm's largest botanical gardens.
I bet that's a buttload of produce going out of one place, and I bet a lot of money.
Bingo. If ever in Yggdrasil, mind your manners around the grocers and arborists. They are this world's mafia. The idea of cement shoes is child's play compared to the early morning rise and shine.
Do I want to know?
No, you don't. That brings us to Shade, the great spirit of darkness. Hope you're not afraid of the dark. Welcome to the Abyss, Shade's domain.
Let me guess, not a lot of night lights.
You catch on quick. No light survives here.
Sounds cozy. Anyone actually live there?
The Tizzies, the glow stick critters.
Aw, that's kind of adorable.
Don't let him fool you. The Abyss isn't a picnic. No one was able to subdue Shade.
Score one for the spirits.
That's not a good thing. Life is scarce in the Abyss because Shade roams free. The only solace we have is that Shade does not seem interested in expanding his territory. The entrance to this domain is a pitch-black mountain pass. Those who venture forth are usually not heard from again.
Duly noted. Seems like you don't mess with me and I don't mess with you kind of vibe.
I've heard that put another way, but yes. Nolo has the same vibe. Luna's domain. She's still free, but no one's seen her in ages.
Another spirit that didn't get caught? What's her secret?
A really good threat. When they came to capture Luna, they were greeted with an obelisk at the border of her lands. It read, "For those who seek my power, I will crash the moon and the stars upon you. I will halt the cycle of rebirth, so that the ravaging dead will wander the realm. Neither life nor death will be kind to you." This threat was enough to turn away the ambitions of armies.
Remind me not to crash her parties.
Smart kid. But they do have the Moonlight Carnival.
Now that looks like a good time.
Trust me, it's out of this world. It is a caravan of nomads, misfits, and merchants. The carnival makes a circuit of traveling to towns and neighboring kingdoms to entertain patrons with their whimsical performances.
What's that sound?
Don't mind that. Just keeping our location discreet. You never know who's listening.
Right, because discussing top secret realms in a toilet room isn't bizarre at all.
Hey, privacy comes in many forms. Now, where were we? The tale of Undine, the great spirit of water. She rules over Kiri. The kingdom covers oceans, seas, and anything wet. Literally, wherever there is water, she can spy.
With that kind of power, there's no way she would be caught.
Exactly. But here's the twist. Undine, let herself be captured. Now, she's the centerpiece in the Kiri Castle's throne room, living in a lavish aquarium.
Wait, what? Why would she do that?
Politics, kid. She's pulling strings from her fancy fish tank.
So she's sort of a prisoner and a ruler. Well, when life gives you lemons.
You make the sweetest lemonade. The royals are too scared to sneeze without her permission.
A spirit playing politics. I think my brain's a bit scrambled.
Yeah, that was a lot to take in.
Right. Less politics, more peculiarities.
You said it. Ready to learn more about the locals? They are more than just your average run-of-the-mill humanoids.
As long as none of them are planning to crash moons into us, I'm all ears.
No promises. Let's start with the classics. Gaia has its share of humans, dwarves, and elves.
Sounds kind of vanilla.
Except the great spirits bless their children. granting them a fraction of their power. That power is passed on through their bloodline. It's about what you expect. Dwarves have sturdier bodies, elves live longer, and humans are pretty adaptable.
Yeah, vanilla.
I dare you to say that when a son of the earth opens a 40-foot chasm beneath your feet, or after a long year, siphons all the mana from your spells. God forbid you catch a high human on a bad day and have to deal with fiction kinesis.
What now?
Fiction kinesis. High humans walk in the path of their creators and are able to temporarily make things they imagine real. I'm not talking about hard work and perseverance. I mean instant manifestation of nightmare creatures or technology.
Definitely not vanilla. More like mint chocolate chip and espresso.
Thankfully, not every person is capable of such high-level feats. Moving on, we have the Beastkin. They are the first children of Gaia. A very diverse race that has settled into every nook and cranny of Gaia. Often resembling giant or bipedal versions of animals, they are often seen as both guardians and mystics of their respective habitats.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Shooting Star, the leader of Hillcrest City, is a colossal beastkin with the power to grant wishes. He is a leader of sorts for their race.
More politics?
Haha. Yeah. For example, the Hexari are a species with a matriarchal society. They evolved from insects in mana-laden ecosystems. Most Hexari you meet will be male and pretty scary looking.
They look intense.
Yeah, they've got some PR issues, and it has put a huge strain on relations with other species. If it weren't for the support efforts of the Sea Folk, the Hexari would have gone extinct.
So the Hexari and the Sea Folk are allies?
Not out of loyalty, more like it's good business. The Sea Folk have the largest commerce market in all of Gaia. Their democratic council has connected many cultures through artisan goods. Nothing is better than Hexari silk for ship sails. It was a match made in heaven.
Spider people and fish people. What an odd couple.
Another fated pair are Celestials and the Fallen. Think of angels and demons minus all the religion. One thing is certain though, they hate each other. It seems that the Fallen were exiled to the underworld, and the Celestials may have had something to do with it. Normal mana is rare down there. They had to survive off the negative energies of Gaia. It altered their appearance into fiendish demonic forms. Celestials, on the other hand, design their own forms and use the purest mana on Gaia to manifest, skipping infancy entirely.
That's pretty messed up. I see how that can leave some bad blood.
Still not as bad as the orcs and elves.
Oh, this is getting juicy.
The orcs pledged their allegiance to the elves back in their world domination days. They did well, extremely well in fact. It took the combined might of the other species to stop them. During this time, the humans accidentally created the sentient race of Tetsujin, first as war machines, later as labor slaves. Anyway, back on target. The elves revealed their true colors to subjugate the orcs as well, after world domination. This didn't sit too well with the orcs, and they abandoned the elves amidst a decisive battle. In a heinous act, the Elven King blighted the homeland of the orcs, making it inhabitable. Forced to live as nomads in the wilds, the Orc Nation disbanded into many small clans. To this day, they are distrustful of outsider politics and refuse to get involved with other species.
That sounds like a lonely existence. What became of the Tetsujin?
The battlefield is a primordial soup of explosive mana and loose souls. They don't know exactly what, but something happened. Robotic soldiers gained free will and went back to the factory, spreading the condition. There was an uprising. Humans had produced a myriad of robotic laborers, animals, and other creations. Before a sentient factory began mass replicating Tetsujin, the human military destroyed it. But not before the burning factory signaled all Tetsujin to retreat, survive, and be free.
That sucks. I don't know how to feel about it. Are they still around?
Today, Tetsujin wander Gaia seeking purpose. They lack reproductive capabilities, so each remains an irreplaceable relic. Regretting their unchecked ambitions, humans granted Tetsujin rights as a recognized sentient species. And that just leaves the Vineborn.
Sounds like tree people.
No, plant people. They can be any fauna.
Nitpick much?
Hey, the details matter. Vineborn are the most hospitable species you will find in Gaia. Many set down roots, so to speak, and cultivate the most grand inns and taverns in Gaia.
Now that sounds like my kind of place.
Trust me, their ale puts any alcohol on Earth to shame.
That's a bold statement.
Their patience and easygoing nature is due to their long lifespans. A vine born can be regrown from death using one of their seeds. It sucks having to go through adolescence again, but it beats the alternative.
So when I log into Gaia, I can be any of these races?
Species. Gotta be PC. When you make your avatar, you can choose what you want to be. You can also create a hybrid avatar, combining two parent species. As your avatar gains levels, your species blessing will unlock. You have a few choices there. All of them are pretty powerful. Sure beats anything you can do here on Earth.
That can't be all, is it?
Of course not. There are many uncatalogued creatures in Gaia. Those are just the ones that won't tear your head off for no reason. Don't get me started on the different monsters and... Oh, just a second. Just a minute. Hold your horses.
This is too weird.
Everything all right in there?
Those burritos I had for lunch were on fire and not in a good way. Wrapping up. I'll be out in a sec.
Damn, that old dude was cool.